Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your Tarot Insight. So before we begin, I would like to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding the space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, my ancestors, my team of light, my higher self, and I thank them for their presence and guidance with this collective reading. Beloved Spirit of the Universe, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Sun card. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Nine of Cups. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Chariot. Whoa. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Three of Cups. And I'll pick one more tarot. We have the Three of Swords. Okay. To complement, let's choose from this deck. What further guidance is there for the collective? We have Grounded. Many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks, living with joy, dignity, and courage. I find this to be very true. Recently that I've been giving tarot readings at markets, there have been people who approach me to have a reading and they don't consider themselves to be on a spiritual path or to have a lot of the attributes that lots of spiritual people have that I know. And it's interesting because even if they're not on a spiritual path consciously, sometimes they are just intuitively or just by existing, basically. So I find it interesting that it says that many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage, right? Something to ponder about. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have Love, which is interesting because when I was pulling the tarot cards, internally I was like, tell me what this is about. And we got the Three of Swords, which tells me that there was some sort of disappointment in the past. There's something that we were let down, could even be heartbreak. But I feel more that it's just like people not living up to our expectations. But it's really positive. So let me just continue picking cards, and I will get into the message that I'm receiving for today. What further guidance is there for the collective today? What do you need to release with Waning Moon? We just had the full moon in Capricorn yesterday, but this is a very particular full moon because its effects are still going to be seen until next Sunday astrologically because of the dance with the planets. So we'll get into that. What further guidance, or what guidance does Archangel Metatron have for the collective today? Wow, love, relationships. Can't make this stuff up again. Already 2 cards regarding love. And last but not least, let's pick an archetype. What archetype speaks to the collective? What archetype speaks to the collective? We have the Castle. You can see like a fort and a rose, like a rose being protected by some pearls. So let's get into the reading first. We started off with the Sun, which is one of the most positive cards in the tarot. So right off with that, I'm feeling like a burst of illumination, a clarity, an inner knowing, a radiance that is within us. So it's already telling me it's a pretty good day today. And I can see why. The next, we have the Nine of Cups. So from this state of inner radiance and illumination, I feel more it's like a coming into yourself. Like perhaps there's been some heartbreak, some disappointment, some disillusionment that has kind of been bogging you down for the last months. And today, finally, you're feeling like the sun has risen again. Like there's an illumination towards why you were feeling that way or why you might have felt trapped in a certain situation. Because a wish has come true for you. It's the Nine of Cups. It's the card of a wish fulfilled. It's having 9 cups that are overflowing and speaking to each other, leading towards emotional harmony. Because the Chariot tells me that you have been able to persist through the trials and tribulations that life has sent your way or that you've been going through. And I really do strongly feel that it has a lot to do with our romantic relationships. And with that, we are able to celebrate. So usually the card of love is the Two of Cups. But what I'm sensing from this particular Three of Cups is that when two people come together, there's another one that's being celebrated, right? So it's kind of like there's a new entity that comes in when two people join. And I feel that this is regarding the Three of Swords, because that's what I asked. I was like, what is this all regarding? And it was a sorrow, it was a disappointment that came in right now. So what I wanted to mention about the full moon in Capricorn, this full moon in Capricorn is going to be, its effects are going to be lasting until Sunday. The reason is because we have the sun, which is in Cancer, and it's opposing the moon, which is in Capricorn, right? So this is what creates a full moon. The sun in Cancer is all about what helps us feel safe in the world and the way we want to continue forward, like the Chariot, safe inside of a chariot, towards our destiny, towards our desires, towards our dharma. And then we have the moon in Capricorn, which is the furthest away from home that it's going to be. So it's in its detriment. Not only it's in its detriment, but it's conjunct Pluto. And Pluto is the lord of the underworld. Pluto is like that zit that needs to be squished. It's kind of like when there's power dynamics, power plays, you know, just dirty secrets that need to be brought into the light. Pluto is going to make sure that that happens. And so that can happen at a massive scale globally with politics, let's say, or it can be happening in the workplace or even within your own personal relationships. So how do we feel safe amidst a world where everything is kind of crumbling down? Pluto in Capricorn is crumbling down all these systems, all these castles that have been built to build this new paradigm, right? So I know I'm going a little bit out there with what this full moon represents. So it's kind of like being able to kind of like dismantle the things that brought us sorrow before, because now we'll be able to find a new sense of safety within ourselves. We are realizing that even though it's great to be able to be met romantically and in friendship-wise in the external world, true love really comes from within. Another interesting fact about this lunation is that Mercury is approximating the sun to become Kazimi, or at the heart of, so they're going to be conjunct, and that happens on Saturday. So whatever it is that we're dealing with since yesterday, which was the full moon, it's kind of like it's going to be carried out by Mercury and by Neptune into the weekend. So I know that's a lot of information. So what it's important to take from that is that whatever power dynamics, whatever issues regarding around your voice, your safety, your sanctity, and your love relationships is still going to be carried out into this weekend. So I really want to come back to this concept and these two green cards that we have here of the castle and grounded. It says, many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. And so I find that this card, what's coming to mind for me is regulating our expectations of what we think life should look like. If we keep on comparing our new experiences to our past experiences, our new romantic affairs to our past romantic affairs, we are not actually meeting life halfway. We're not giving these new opportunities a real chance to be what they are in their full expression. So I feel that there's a really important need to be able to ground ourselves and to just ask ourselves what is taking us away from being in this present moment, from meeting this present moment exactly as it is. I really feel called to read from this. It says, the castle, the palace, the penthouse, the fortress. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within the castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home or position that project the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us into a sleep of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it's best not to linger within the walls of decadent deception for too long. So when in light it is visiting your throne of power, and when dark stuckness, depression spells walls. So that's interesting because Pluto, Capricorn and Saturn can sometimes be referred to like those structures that keep us safe, which is great. But when those structures become boundaries for life actually coming into us, then they kind of like defeat their purpose. So I feel that this card is speaking to these Plutonian influences, which are coming to kind of like shake our castle up and be like, you're sleeping. You fell asleep in what your comfort is. Let's come and wake you up. Let's wake you up and ground you. Let's reassess what love means for us. Self-love or love with another person. Because it is really time to release these outdated ways of functioning. Maybe we've been stuck in a cog for too long and we need to kind of like take a road trip, get out there. Because I feel that we're entering a new sense of illumination, a new sense of self, because there is a wish that's being granted on an emotional level, because we've been able to like charge through the difficulties. And I really feel that this is making a reference to Cancer season right now. And there is abundance and there's a celebration that's coming in for us. And we're going to be able to release this sorrow, this disappointment that happened to us, whatever that may mean for you. Okay, so to finish, I would like to pick a card from Kalima. Seems right. Beloved Mother Kali, what loving guidance do you have for the collective today? What loving guidance do you have for the collective today? We have Blue Tara, number 17. Sweet Mother of Peace now bestows her gifts of clarity, peace, and power to overcome any negative condition. Just as the beautiful lotus grows from muddied waters, so too shall you rise from confusion, difficult circumstances, and heavy energies into sacred blossoming. If you feel held back or slowed down by your circumstances, remember that your soul has the ability to process all experiences and become stronger, not weaker, through doing so. This oracle indicates healing and a positive prediction for a peaceful future. How beautiful. So if you feel looked into it, do a little research with Blue Tara. Here it says, blue skin Tara represents the element of spaciousness. Creating space in our lives opens up to grace. You can only receive what you create room for. That can require letting go of mental clinging and emotional distress and becoming open to positive outcomes. We do not accomplish this by denying or ignoring thoughts or feelings, but by practicing reassurance and dropping into trust. Okay, so I feel that the message is very clear. There's a new dawn here. That's what it's saying. The clarity that coming in, the lack of confusion that the sun is bringing in for us. Because it's a time of emotional fulfillment, and we're going to be working through things, knowing that we're protected. Like this Cancerian energy that's present right now is helping us flush things out. It's helping us release a lot of things that this Pluto is bringing up for us. So we could kind of see it like that. Like Pluto is bringing up all these stagnant walls that have become too heavy on us. And with this lunation, it's like this Cancer water, this primal water of Cancer is helping flush it out, to flush out and to help us release these things. So I really think that these next 2 weeks, as the full moon is going to be waning, it's going to be a great time to be able to assess these things. Okay, everybody, I hope that this was useful to you. If it was, I'm going to kindly ask you to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you feel that you have a community that would resonate with these messages. Don't forget that I also offer personal readings online and in person. So you could just visit my personal website to book one of those. And I will be back with you soon with another video. Bye.